It's an absolute pleasure to be here today with one of our valued Weil leaders and a very close friend of mine whom I've worked with for many, many years and I value as a colleague, Andrew Chizzik. Andrew is co-head of our private funds practice based in our New York office. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me, Barry, and thanks for not saying how many years we've worked together.
I'd like to start by talking a little bit about your practice and going back to the very beginning, which I was there for, when you were first starting out. When did you realize you wanted to focus on the funds practice, and what aspects of the work have kept you interested all those years?
I often joke, Barry, that since I was a young child, I knew I wanted to form private equity funds. Obviously, that wasn't true. That wasn't the case. And in fact, as a summer associate, I did not know what a private fund was, let alone why anyone would want to form one for their career. And yet here I am over 20 years later. And the truth of the matter is, Barry, it was about the group. It was about the team. You'll remember these times. The funds practice had 10 people maybe at the time.
Yes.
And it felt like this little family at this large firm of 500 lawyers in New York. And yet there was something special about the group.
I'm thrilled you used the word family because that was what we were trying to create in the group and clearly what we've created for the law firm.
And I suspect it's not the last time we'll use the word today.
True. I know that you've done a lot of innovative work for your clients, including some groundbreaking deals on sustainability and clean energy space. So I'm curious to hear about things that are evolving in this area or thoughts you have on any other market trend that's going on in the private fund space.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in our world right now, Barry. You use the word innovation, and I think that's where the industry is right now. The industry's matured. It's been around for a while now, and I think folks are looking for an edge. How can we raise more money? What can we do to give ourselves a little bit more than our competitors? So we've seen people innovate on insurance companies. Let's use rated note feeders and get them in a more efficient way. European investors, what structures can we use for them? We're seeing it now. You can't, pick up the legal press without reading about retailization. We're seeing that. And I'm sure a common answer that you're getting from everyone you're interviewing is AI, right? And in private equity, are our sponsors using AI to make investment decisions? Are the portfolio companies using it to maximize? Are they creating new vehicles to invest in AI? And how are we evolving along with them?
Well, I remember it's a little bit different than it was 40 years ago when I started doing this. But I really look forward to seeing those developments materialize over the next few years. Like me, you grew up here, and you spent your whole professional life here at the firm. So what would your elevator pitch be, and what is it, to new lawyers or lateral partners on why Weil and why now?
Culture is the thing for me. Culture, quality. I think back on Weil and why I've been here my whole career, why it's so special to me. Barry, I think back to when I had young kids and I'd bring them to the office. They're always so excited to come. People would rush to the office, see the kids, play with them. You were always the first.
I remember
always the
it well.
first, right?
Now I have a grandchild that I can do it with, but I remember those days well when the boys came in.
That's right. And you would hear from, down the other side of the office that my kids were in, stop what you're doing, come down to my side of the floor in your suit and tie, be on your hands and knees playing with my little guys, right? And I don't think there's any place else that's like that. Another example, Jonathan Solar, good friend of both of ours. He taught my youngest to ski, right? And I remember it well, indelible in my head. He takes my youngest son, Will, out, 4 years old, down the bunny slope. Magic carpet line was too long for Jonathan, so he's got to pick Will up and run up the hill, back and forth, up and down. An hour later, he comes over, puts him in front of me and says, Will now skis. Jonathan's drenched in sweat, right? Where else do you get something like that? And that's my elevator pitch.
I agree, and that's the elevator pitch that I use. So, it's really, for me, really special to hear people echo those cultural touch points that are so important to me and why I've been here for my career. You were named co-head of the funds group earlier this year. And I know it's early days, but what do you see on the horizon for the practice group over the next few years?
Growth, I think, is to sum it up in one word. We've been growing, right? When I started in the group, we were 10. We're now way bigger than that. And we're going to continue to grow. I think we'll do it internally and externally. I think we'll see geographies grow where we have a footprint as well. And for us, the most important thing is the continuity of culture and excellence. And we pride ourselves on not having any B teams, right? We only want A-plus players, present company excluded, right? And making
and
sure
this present company
both of us, of
excluded
course,
too, yes.
right? But making sure that the team is of A-plus quality, but that the culture is still there. And we're going to do that. We're going to do it strategically.
Sitting on the floor with all the funds lawyers, as I do, and watching it, that culture that was developed very early continues to this day. And I can say with certainty that with you and Stephanie steering things into the future, the funds practice is in incredible hands and will achieve that and much more.
We hope so.
As someone who spent, as I have, so much time in the funds group, and we've talked about collegiality and collaboration. So what do you and Stephanie do today as leaders, and what will you do in the future to keep this incredible culture of collaboration?
It's something we think about all the time. When we were in the group 20 years ago, it was organic that we all knew each other well, and we knew our spouses and what everyone was doing over the weekend. At 10 people, that just happens. You see each other in the pantry and on the way to the bathroom, and it just happens. Now that the group is so much bigger, we need to be more intentional about it, right? So it's meetings every Monday to talk about, what's new in the group, closings we've had, exciting developments. Someone got married, someone's on a honeymoon, someone had a kid. Like, we try to make sure people are in the same room at the same time talking about all those things.
That's terrific.
We do quarterly lunches for the same reason. We just recently had a trivia night. You'll be happy to hear Jonathan did not win.
And I came to one of those practice sessions to go through some of the history of the group. It was a lot of fun.
I remember. We thought so too.
So obviously that's inspiring to hear. I'd like to round out today's conversation with a question that's a little bit more open-ended, which is, who is a leader outside of the legal industry that you admire and why?
Okay. Bit of a curveball, and you're going to see why I chose that word in a second. Clayton Kershaw, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Okay. A Yankee fan, but that's okay.
We'll get over that. All right. Here's someone who has been with the same team his entire career, loyal to his team, loyal to his city, loyal to his community and culture. And I feel like so many direct parallels to our industry. He's someone who leads from the front. I just heard him on a podcast recently, a Dude Perfect podcast, which was great, talking about the interplay between focusing on team and profession and also family and community at the same time. And it really resonated with me. And now that he's recently announced his retirement, talking about going out on top and leaving things to the next generation, who he's sure will be even better than him, just really resonated with me.
I'll give you, Derek Jeter or Aaron Judge, but we can move on.
Fair enough. And maybe, take it with a grain of salt. My oldest son, Max's middle name is Clayton.
Okay.
So,
take
it with a grain of salt.
Got it. So we're going to now just change course. I'm going to ask you, and I hope this is fun for you, because it is for me.
Can't wait.
I'm going to ask you some lightning round questions, and I'm just going to shoot them at you.
Okay.
How do you like to start each day?
Start each day. I wake up my oldest son, Max, at 6:47 every day, and we have this battle. The teenager doesn't want to get up. The dad's got to get him up every day, 6:47.
Okay. What's your favorite snack?
Peanuts. Yeah.
What's your go-to health and wellness activity?
I recently bought a tonal which I put in the basement, one of these home gym pulley systems that I love. There's an instructor, Joe Rodonis, that I think is hilarious. And that
Next needs to be golf, but we don't
next,
have to
I
cover
know
that
you feel
now.
that way.
What's the last movie you watched on a plane?
I took my middle son, Owen, to Minnesota for a Vikings game recently. And on the plane, I watched a movie called Sinners. I had no idea what it was, and I'm not going to ruin it for anyone. There are some twists in there, but it was really good. Dark and violent, so people know what they're getting into.
What was your favorite subject in high school?
Economics.
What's your peak time of day?
I would say early morning, but you and I mean different things by early morning, not as early as you.
Okay. Name a habit or attribute that drives your friends and loved ones crazy.
You could have Danielle on the show. I don't know how much time you'd have to talk to her about it. I think a good one would be me making Danielle leave all parties early.
I do the same.
Yeah.
What's the last TV show that you binge watched?
Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
Wow, that was a great one.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched it. That
Really
was
good.
great. Name an upcoming vacation or trip that you're looking forward to.
We're taking the kids to go visit my folks in Florida in a few weeks.
Very nice.
Family
There's
always looks
nothing. There's
forward to
nothing
that.
like grandparents seeing their grandchild. I can tell you that
Exactly
firsthand
right.
now.
Exactly right.
What word would an associate on one of your matters use to describe you?
I'd hope that they would say collaborative, and commercial, I think.
I've heard both of those words used in your case, Andrew,
Okay.
on the floor. Well, thank you for doing this. This was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you coming down to do this.
Thank you, Barry. You're not wrong. I had a great time. Thank you for doing it.